What's up, bosses? Trying to get my phone in the right spot for today. Let me actually move it up just a little bit so it's not so bouncy. Okay. I hope you guys are having an amazing Wednesday. It's an amazing day. I am actually rocking my riding leggings because I might get on my jumping mare today and just ride around. I just want to challenge myself with a limit of time that I've had with my travel schedule. If you've been following that at all whatsoever, my travel schedule has been pretty wonky. I've been all over the place. I was in Georgia yesterday. So it's been a wild couple of weeks to try to get all of my horses feeling good, feeling great, keeping all of my training at tip-top shape, and at the same time keeping you guys ready. Now, one thing I want to point out, I just want to give a shout out to a boss this morning. Anna Bierman posted yesterday pictures of her. I made them the background of my cell phone. Thank you. I made Anna Bierman the background of my phone because she looks like a boss. And I just want to talk about that. It is a choice to be who we want to be. It is a choice to go, I'm going to wear some very fierce shades and I'm going to whatever. It's a choice to step into that role, especially when we perform. I want you guys to remember that when people buy tickets to watch you run, you are performing and they're waiting to see that happen and how amazing that you're going to be. So I want you guys to think of yourself at a higher standard than you normally would. Exciting things I'm celebrating this week is I'm going to get Cowboy Swagger back, put him right back in training for barrel racing. He's been at the cow horse trainer, just getting an even better foundation so that we can build up his confidence. He is a very insecure animal and I needed help with that while I was out of town, back and forth all of this month. I would love to hear some Q&As from you guys. I looked at a few of your posts. Let's see. What was I thinking that you guys had? Break Up With Your Farrier was yesterday. I gave a speech at the NBHA Youth World Finals, which is interesting because giving a speech, especially when you're not prepared to give one, was a little tough. They said, well, do you want a microphone? I said, yeah. And they said, well, get up on the stage and just talk for 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, all right. Well, I guess I will. I want to talk to you about the reticular activating system because I do it in my clinics. I haven't had any clinics this year for you guys to attend besides virtual clinics, which I love virtual clinics. But I want to talk to you about the one thing the topic was envisioning the win. And I did this one little trick, and I'll do it with you too. And normally I have people do it with their eyes closed, but you're probably at work or you're on your way somewhere or you're on the treadmill. I don't want to get anybody hurt. I just want you to think really quickly about the most sour food you've ever had. You know those Warhead candies? The Warhead candies that are like sour apple that you put in your mouth, and you would have competitions to try to not make a face when you put that sour candy in your mouth, or like when you bite into a lemon, bite right into it and it squeezes and the juices get all in your mouth. Okay, do you guys give me hearts if you guys have your jaw tingling or your mouth watering? Give me some hearts. If you were able to get your jaw tingling or your mouth to water, you have figured out the exact part of your brain that can envision a win. It's that part of your brain that we've got to activate in order to get butterflies when envisioning a win. You should be able to envision the next race that you're going to and how you want to place and how you want to end up, and you should, at the end of it, have butterflies or even tears of joy or gratitude. If you've got it right, I want you guys to practice that today. Every single day when you're on your horse, you have an assignment. The assignment does not include getting nervous, being superstitious, or worrying about anybody else. Your assignment, every single time your brain goes into fear or flight, your brain now has to go into, how am I going to envision this win? And that's your whole job. It's very hard. It took me about a year to perfect it, where I can just go straight into that mode and block out everything else. I can go straight there with no warning. I can get straight there with almost no practice now. I can get right there. It took me about a year. of dedicating every single time I thought about my horses, thought about my goals, and got fear and negativity that came in, I went straight for that mouth-watering mode. So I challenge you to do that very same thing. So Scarlett said, what you said yesterday during the speech about running, looking at the third for 2 strides and looking to your first, really helped my mare yesterday. Unique tip I got to use less than an hour later. Well, I'm so glad that helped you. Dallas asked, to exhibition or not exhibition? For me, that all is determined by my horse's age and the budget that I've set aside for my entry fees. For me, I enter before I'm ever ready, and I make sure that I keep my horses futurity eligible. So if I'm on a 3-year-old, I wait until December 1st of their 3-year-old year to then enter them up, because that's the legal parameters to be able to continue to futurity. So Scarlett says, how do you decide which horse to run first when you're running multiple? Is there a rhyme or reason? Actually, yes, that's a damn good question. What we're finding is that when Flowbot is further down the list, so when my adrenaline is higher, I ride him better. When I'm very calm, I need to ride something that requires a little bit less brain power. Sorry. Speaking of brain power, I need my brain fridge. I've been trying to wait. But when I'm riding something that needs a little bit less of me having my adrenaline way up, because I am such a calm competitor now, so now I wait until later. So that's what I'll be doing in the future. And actually, Cody's the one that pointed it out. She's the one that was like, you know what? I see a pattern here. When Flowbot is your last horse to ride, or even your second or third horse to ride, he clocks right with Baby Flo. When he's your first horse to ride, he clocks in the 3D. And it's really funny. Really, really funny. So yeah, I think I covered it. That's what I want you guys to do. When do you use a tie down and why? Mary, I'm going to do a kind of an experiment on this. I've got right now, Nefertiti is pushing her head up, leaving a barrel because she's trying to build up that strength behind. So she's picking her head up to try to find some other way to push from a barrel. So I'm probably going to put a tie down on her this week, loosely. The strap should be able to touch their throat latch. If I went like this to the strap, it shouldn't be baggy enough to come up here, but it should be where it's taut enough that when it gets right here, it just touches the top of their throat latch. And I'll be running her so she has that to push on. I never use it as something to keep their head down. I use it to supplement them trying to run harder. When do you get them to try hard and run? Nikki, you probably need to look at my colt starting video on the website, because trying to get them to go hard and run is when I feel them ready, which is typically very early on and a lot earlier on than you've probably been told in the past. How do you keep getting back every time you get ready to run and something bad happens? Injury, horseshoe, too close to trim, more injury. How do you keep going? Resilience is something I talk about all the time in my podcast. If you haven't heard it there, you should talk about there. It doesn't matter if you're a barrel racer, if you're an accountant, if you're a basketball player, it doesn't matter. Resilience is resilience. If your goal is way off in the sunset and it's far away, it's harder for the brain to keep getting back up and trying to stay on track to go get that goal. The best thing that you can do is understand that taking your licks is just part of it. You take a lick, you get up. You take a lick, you get up. You take a lick, you get up. And you tell yourself, I won't stop until. And if the goal is what's in mind, okay, well, the shoe or trimmed are too close, but I'm not going to stop until. Slowing down's fine. Stopping is not okay. That's it for today. Your challenge today is to write down where your brain goes and how many times a day today your brain went into fear mode, and how many times today you're able to get it out of that. And maybe a little mantra that was okay. Scarlett saw my speech yesterday where I talked about everything's going to work out for me. Everything's going to work out in my favor. And that's what we repeat when things don't go our way. Everything's going to work out in my favor. So the next thing that I want you to say is, what did I learn from this experience? What did I learn from my farrier trimming too close? What did I learn about that? So I love you guys. That's what I want you to post right now. Everything's going to work out in your favor. And I want you to fill in the statement of, I won't stop until, and then go ahead and fill that in. Make sure to like and comment on one person's post within the group, because we're all in this together. I love you guys.